As Jamaicans, we are all seeking out a safer Jamaica. Many are praying, others are doing charitable programs, some are running neighborhood watches, churches and some schools are seeking to recondition children's and young people's thinking to forge different paths. How does our collective thinking hampers progress? What are some of the individual things that can make a difference? Is a safer Jamaica ever going to be possible? Let's dive into this conversation.
The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me. Yeah.
Hello, Wagwan. Big up yourself. Whether you're there yard or you're there abroad, welcome back to another episode of Life with the Jam Fams, where we're looking at the safety of Jamaica and whether or not we can actually achieve a safer Jamaica. Year on year, there is a decline in crime in Jamaica, and this is a realistic experience for Jamaicans, as is reported by recent official statistics. Multiple sources from the Jamaican government, Jamaica Information Services, Office of the Prime Minister, the Jamaican Constabulary Force, to name a few, indicates a significant and sustained downward trend in major crime categories, including homicide, firearm violence, sexual assault, and robbery. And we're going to give you some of the breakdown. Firstly, we want to reiterate that there is a constant decline. Officials are reporting a consistent decline, with the first quarter of 2025 marking the sixth consecutive quarter where homicide has been reduced. There is also a significant reduction in some of the other categories in 2025. But before we go to that, let's just talk about these few contexts that we've mentioned. So homicide declined by 35.9% between January 1st and April 5th of 2025. This is when compared to the same period in 2024. Overall, major crimes in the first quarter of 2025 were at their lowest in 25 years. That is remarkable. Then when we take a look at firearm incidents, those were down by 26%. So we also want to look at sexual assault, which was down by 57%, and robbery was down by 7%. And these were all as of April 5th, 2025. And the next thing we want to look at is the positive projections. It is expected that Jamaica is heading for a 36% decline in homicide for the year, and we're hoping and praying that that is actually achieved. Jamaica is seeing the lowest monthly or quarterly rate in decades. February 2025 saw the lowest monthly homicide rate in 25 years, and the first quarter of 2025 has the lowest quarterly homicide count in over 2 decades. Fabulous progress by the people and also by the authorities that are working assiduously at ensuring that they are creating a safer Jamaica for one and for all. Factors attributing to this decline are things such as the government's attributes some of the reduction to continued investment in intelligence-led policing, technological updates and upgrades that they're having, strategic partnership, and also enhanced police strategies and improved community engagement, as well as intensifying anti-gang strategies and the removal of illegal firearms in our community. Keep in mind, Jamaica does not have a firearms factory. So we need to also be thinking, how are these firearms getting into our country in the first place? However, with continued work and effort to recognize the detriment that it does to our society, it will be very crucial in us getting rid of them wherever they abound. While Jamaica has historically faced high crime rates, particularly in certain urban areas. The recent data strongly suggests a positive shift in the crime trajectory. The government is confident that these efforts are leading to a sustainable crime reduction. It is important that we remember that crime is a byproduct of poverty and greed, and it comes in different forms based on the region of the world that people find themselves and the conditioning and challenges individuals face. It is up to every individual, every community, and the elected officials to ensure accountability on every level and robust processes to truly reform behavior when they occur, and places high emphasis on preventing them happening in the first place by addressing the underlying mentalities and forms of depravities. When we're addressing different things, we usually want to also look at the mental conditioning or the mental thinking that goes with certain events and certain ideologies in our environment. We've heard people indicate that when we live in Jamaica, we live locked behind bars, and people have said they don't want to come back to Jamaica because they don't want to come here and have to lock themselves behind bars. Many people believe that having grills are fundamentally for safety and security, and use that as an indicator for their feeling of safety when they're in Jamaica. However, it is worth realizing that these grill bars or burglar bars on homes were introduced in the 18th and 19th century in Europe and North America. These bars initially served to protect goods in shops and later was adopted for residential use, particularly on ground level windows. Though not common, they were also depicted in ancient Rome and Greece from the 1st and 2nd century for fortresses, jails, and abbeys. Wrought iron frames with lattice patterns were used for window casing in the 16th century in Europe as well. In the 19th century, with the boom in ironwork, iron window guards with intricate designs became increasingly common and emphasized wealth. Post-emancipation, the colonial aristocrats used these grills to both display status as well as to garner security from their freed subjects. This was fueled by the primal need to protect themselves and their prized possessions from possible intruders. With increasing technology, it has become increasingly easier for people to breach those bars of security. However, people in parts of the Caribbean, Asia, and Africa still see the bars as a means of security and status of wealth in their community. In Europe, North America, and Australia, they are used in areas to keep out wild animals and predators from the animal kingdom, as more sophisticated means has emerged to keep people and their possession safe from other humans. Would you say grill bars is now simply a mere illusion of safety and more so used as a wealth symbol by many? Or do you feel that it is still an essential part of keeping your house and your family safe? When people are away from their property for a long period, or where households need to leave windows open for ventilation on low levels, these bars can give a sense of security. However, more people are using integrated closed-circuit security systems around their homes for their security. Several modern homes and modern developments, including gated communities, aren't adding these bars to their homes, although people buying them still have the option to add bars after the fact if that is what they so desire. What is your view on the consistent and sustained safety statistics of the Safer Jamaica being engineered? Do you believe that grills on windows still have a place in Jamaican society? Do homes still need to be heavily grilled to feel a sense of safety? Are more families finding new ways to keep their family safe, protected, and showcase their wealth in Jamaica as they do in other societies? Do tell us your view in the comment section below. We are looking forward to hearing from you, because this whole idea of grill and this whole idea of Jamaica's safety is one that has been talked about for decades, and it is important that we are also taking stock of the realities that are happening. Can you imagine improvement that the country hasn't seen in 25 years. That is 2.5 decades, to put it in context so that we can comprehend the level of improvements that we are seeing on the island where safety is concerned for the populace. And this should bring some reassurance to the people in the diaspora who have safety as one of their issues that is prohibiting them from returning to the island. Do tell us your views in the comment section below. We look forward to hearing them and to seeing your perspective, and also responding to as many of them as we possibly can. And again, if you're living in the diaspora and you're considering returning to Jamaica, we have a series on here that is a Moving to Jamaica series that covers a series of different things that you need to consider and factor into your plan of return when you're doing so. Alternatively, we have some workbook guides that you can invest in to help you to thoroughly plan out your plan of return. We have one for relocation, which is for people who are able to move freely between the countries they are at and where they choose to return to, wherever in the world, and it helps you to plan that out. We also have a plan of repatriation, is the other workbook, that helps people who aren't as free to move between the countries where they're coming from and where they're heading to, or people who want to make their move quick and swift, so that you're able to plan out some of the factors that you need to consider and think about. The link will be in the description below or in the pinned comments if that is something that interests you. And we look forward to hearing what your plans are where this new information is concerned, and we are watching it intently to see how it progresses from here onwards. Again, we look forward to reading your comments and hear your views on these developments. From Tribe, if you know, you know that this section of the house, on this section of the kitchen counter, was full of Malta bottles, because I was binning them in my rubbish, and then a friend of mine said to me, "Why are you throwing away the bottles?" I'm like, that's what we do in the UK. We put them in a one glass recycling sitting and we bin them. So I was here doing...
In England, normally they collect plastic bottles and cans.
And glass as well,
No,
like the wine.
To get money.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
bottles and cans.
Okay, and then you can recycle. You put your recycled glass bottles in as well to get it recycled.
Here you also can do plastic bottles, but it's not that you get more money from glass bottles.
I know that they're doing something about the lids of the plastic bottles here, but I don't know enough about it to know. But I've seen some people collecting it. I don't know if that's just certain schools doing it for their project, or if there's actually an initiative to get them out of the landfills. But that's good. So it used to be here, and Eliona has managed to decide that we need to sort it out. She don't want to see it in the kitchen no more. She fed up a hit. So here's the solution. We now have a DNG crate. So we got one. Exactly. So we got one when we went to town last time, and so now we have it. So the crate is filled because the crate only fit 24, and so the extras we had, I just put them on top until we can get it all exchanged. So we'll get that done at some point in the near future. Just bring it out and get it exchanged, because apparently here you can, these ones, they actually pay you to return it. And that's why my friend was saying to me, why are you throwing them away? You need to keep them and then just exchange the bottles. And you can either exchange it and get cash, or you can exchange it and get a container, a case of drink back, and you pay the top up to get it. So we're going to exchange them and then see how that process goes. We'll let you know how it goes once we get it done. I decided that I was going to come outside and get myself some fruits on a limb that is hanging over my fence, my side of the fence, but the tree is actually planted in my neighbor's yard and they don't mind. So I'm just coming out to get some, so I will show you the tree real quickly. So that's the tree right there. It's called Laqua. The fruit tree is called Laqua, right next to that June plum tree. So you can see on the limb of it the other day, and if you had watched the video previously when my mom and our friend came to visit, you would have seen the friend picking from here. the our Ghanaian friend, she was picking from the tree. And so I decided I was going to come outside and get some of the fruit, because the mulberry is now finished. So that's the Laqua coming in. And so I decided to pick some. So this is the branch that I went and got. Can you see those fruits? Some of them have gone a little bit too ripe. Now if I don't pick them, the bits that's hanging over my section, they will all just fall on the ground, or birds will eat them, and that's just going to be it. And my neighbor doesn't even have time for it. He admires the tree and occasionally help himself and the rest of the people over there help themselves to a few. So I've decided to go and get some to help myself. It's very nutritious. It has a little tangy taste to it, and the flesh tastes almost like peach, and the skin, you can see those little hair bits on it, so it has an outer skin sort of like peach as well. But that's what it is. It's called Laqua. So I'm going to go and wash them and enjoy tasting them now. And here I have it, my nice lovely bowl of Laqua fruit that I have now to go and eat. And I'm just going to taste it and let you know how it tastes. So how many of you have had it before? Have you had it before to eat? So I've just washed it, and I'm just going to try and see. They're tiny, so I'm just going to put it in my mouth. It has a pip in there. That was nice and juicy. Last time I had it, it was a little bit more tangy. I think maybe this the later one in the second crop of the season, or maybe these ones have had the chance to just ripen a little bit more because the whole bunch that was there was ripe. It's really nice. That's the pip. Wherever you're watching from, do you have this fruit in your country? And if you do, what do you call it? Tell us in the comments below. And is it something you like? I know if you think about ackee, for example, ackee is in Sierra Leone and Ghana, but they don't eat it because they consider it to be poisonous, which of course we know that at some point in the year ackee is poisonous. For example, if it hasn't properly opened to release some of the toxins that are inside, but they don't eat it. Whilst here in Jamaica, what we don't eat from ackee is the bits that just cannot be eaten. And so different countries and cultures have different things that they do and don't do. So do you eat Laqua, or do you just leave it out to the birds where you are from? Tell us in the comments below. You might be wondering if I'm leaving some for Eliona. The answer is no. She's not even going to look at me in the fruit. Okay, so I'm not leaving her any. She'll be fine knowing that I had it and enjoyed it. She doesn't mind. I can eat. She's happy for me to eat whatever fruit I want, just so long as I'm not imposing it on her. And this is another one of those fruits that she doesn't like. So I indulge on my own, and she can indulge in the things that she likes as fruits. I know that as we grow and as we age, taste buds change. So there are things in my childhood that I would not eat at all. And even the other day, my mom was reminding me, when she saw me cooking and eating the Spanish needle, she was saying to me, Kenya, when you were a child, if I even cooked callaloo, you didn't want it. Callaloo would make you want to be sick. Just the taste of it and everything like that. And now I'm eating Spanish needle, which has a little bit of a more bitterish taste, but it has another sweet and lovely underlying taste that goes with it as well. So it makes it a lovely combination, the two things. But there are still things that I didn't like in my childhood, like banana, green banana cooked. Still don't like it today. I'll drink it as porridge, but I really don't like it as a cooked food. I'll eat it, but I don't like it. And I was having the conversation the other day with my father, talking about some of the things in my childhood that I wouldn't eat and the reasons I wouldn't eat it. Some of them is just the way it tastes in my mouth, and some of it is the way it smells and things like those. which means that I wouldn't want to eat stuff, and just also the way it looks. So there are so many things that helps to captivate what you eat. So I just, unless it's something that is absolutely the only source of nutrient, I just let it.
The Jam Fam family. Where Irie living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. The Jam Fam family. Where Irie living the good life. We're royal, cruising through the West Indies, having fun, enjoying the good life. Jam Fam family, the Jam Fam family, yeah. Jam Fam, come hang with me. The Jam Fam family. Jam Fam, come hang with me. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Thank you so much for staying with us here on this another episode of Life with the Jam Fams. Bye for now, and we look forward to seeing you in the next video.